So that took a lot longer going up the ramp than I thought, so I probably don't have much time left. So yes, my name is Dan, and I'm in a wheelchair, so a lot of people always think I'm Lieutenant Dan, and I'm like, hello, I have legs. Also, people are always like, oh, you're a stand-up comedian. I'm like, hello, can't stand up. No, I really am disabled. I'm not, this isn't part of my act. I've been disabled my whole life. When I was 10 months old, I got sick, and my parents took me to the doctors, and they took my blood, and they took my hair, and they took my skin, and I don't know why, but they took one of my muscles. I don't know why. And they told my parents, they're like, oh, he's just really weak, and he's going to be disabled his whole life and vegetable. He probably won't live to be 12 years old. Well, in October, I just turned 13, so I don't think those doctors know what they're talking about. But, people are always asking me, though, the obvious questions, like, what's it like, what's it like to be disabled? And apparently a lot of people in this room already know that, but I realized something recently. It's like, you know what? Being disabled is a lot like being extremely rich. I never cook my own meals. Somebody drives me everywhere I go, so I have a built-in chauffeur. Beautiful women bathe me every day. Not multiple women at one time, that would be really cool, but I don't even have to wipe my own ass. So, you might as well just call me Rich or Rich, right? But anybody here ever had to call 911? 911? You call 911? Anybody ever had to call 911 for themselves? I had to call 911 for myself once, and I was like, the girl was like, 911, state your emergency. I swear, that's exactly what she sounded like too. And I'm like, I have a wasp in my pants. She hung up. So I had to call back like 3 times. And I really did have a wasp in my pants. And I was like, no, I'm not joking. I'm in a wheelchair, I'm alone. And there is a wasp in my pants. And you know what? I learned that day that prayer really does work. Because this gorgeous intern EMT comes out, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. And she's looking at my pants for that wasp, and all she found was my hornet. Apparently that was pretty funny. Okay, so I think I have a lot more time. Anybody got any jokes? No. All right, well, I'll just make something up. So you know how they have all these drive-thrus? Drive-through McDonald's, obviously. Starbucks nowadays. I saw a drive-through wedding chapel. Right? Has anybody seen this yet? It's like, I'm like, okay, so what do? You're like driving through and you're like, yes, I'd like to order a marriage to go. And then what do when they say, would you like to supersize that? You're like, of course. Next thing you know, you're married to her and her mom. It's like, oh wait, I thought I went through a drive-through wedding chapel, not a drive-through I want to be a Mormon. You get it? Polygamy. It's kind of a hidden joke there. And then, okay, so the whole like online thing, right? I'm actually a computer programmer, and I am like so like out of date with like the whole online stuff right now. I hate to admit it, but Facebook or whatever, right? Facebook, right? Everybody's like, oh, I just had the best pancakes. And then 2 minutes later, oh, I put blueberry syrup on my pancakes and they're so good. And then somebody has to like that. right? And I'm like, where's the F you button? Like, I want to be like, F you and your pancakes, okay? And your blueberry syrup. Screw the like. You know, what about online dating? Online dating, you know? Anybody ever tried online dating? I thought, you know what the heck, I'll give it a try. I'm getting older, and obviously I just turned 13. And I'm like, alright, I'll give it a try. So I typed in disabled dating online in Google. I thought Google would be a good source. I was figuring that I would get something like, you know, disableddivas.com, handicappedhotties.com. You know what Google gave me? farmersonly.com. I'm like, I'm not looking for a freaking cow. I'm not trying to inbred with my sheep. I mean, what the, dude? You know? Anybody ever had to, you know, RSVP for anything? I had to RSVP recently for, I don't know, birthday or a wedding or something like that. And I was like, RSVP, what does that even stand for? And they were like, oh, it's French. And I'm like, ooh, cool. Damn French, here we are, you know, English-speaking Americans. And we gotta learn their languages and other words and everything, but it does make everything sound cooler, right? You know, like you could be at a restaurant and they're like, would you like some snails? You're like, no. It's disgusting. Like, how about some escargot? You're like, ooh, what's that? Oh, it's French. Oh, yeah, I'll have some of that. I mean, you might not even know what you're talking about, and you're just sprinkling a little bit of French on whatever you're saying. They're like, hey, baby. I know we've only been dating for, you know, 8 days, but I thought we might be ready for a menage a trois. She looks at you and she's like, touche. It's actually a lot funnier if you know what touche means. Forget menage a trois, but if you know what touche means, it's actually a really funny joke. So, before I go, which I got like a red light, I don't know if that means I got like 1 second or 1 minute, but before I go, I want you guys to know that everywhere I go, people think they know me. And people always coming up to me like, oh, I went to high school with you. And I'm like, you were one out of 2,500 other people. I was the one guy in the wheelchair. So no, I don't know you. And they're like, oh yeah. Well, then the other day, I read the Metrolink, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, no, I know you. And I'm like, dude, you probably just know somebody else in a wheelchair. You don't know. It's like, no, I know you. You're Stephen Hawking, right? And I'm like, yes, I am. So, you guys do know that men are like parking spots, right? The best ones are handicapped. That's how I roll. Good night.